Welcome everyone. This is my second track build video. This is the project where we're building a this is the smaller go-kart mini bike track that we're building on the northern end of our pasture. This is just the intro for this video. So I don't want to ramble on for too long. Like I said, this is just a small track on the northern end of the pasture. Thank you all so much for watching. It's been a lot of fun working on this project. I've also been looking at my local market for go-karts. We do have a local series that runs at our local kart track called the Lone Star Caged Predator series that runs stock 212cc Predator engines from Harbor Freight. It's a caged go-kart series. They also do not allow tire prep, so it's a very cost-effective series. And I'm definitely planning on, especially if we can get to a point where my seizures aren't too big of an issue. Um, I'd love to have my seizures under control enough to where I can race publicly. But for now, I want to be able to drive on my own private property. I really am itching to drive ever since I lost my license. I'm itching to be able to drive something, and I really hate being told that I can't drive. Everything I've ever wanted to do is drive, and I I really hate being told what I can and can't do. Um, and I love doing the racing simulator stuff, but the racing simulator stuff just does not completely scratch that itch. And for anybody that loves racing, for anybody out there that has raced before, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's just not the same. The racing simulator stuff, like with iRacing, is a ton of fun, but it's just not completely the same. Without further ado, let's go into our little intro with the song, the channel trailer with the song that's done by my good friends over at Fading Chaos. They're a metal band. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring me. I love you guys, and then we'll go into the video. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Y'all are awesome.
Tattoo, he's cool as fuck. Tattoo, he's a juggalo. Tattoo, he is the best. Tattoo, he wants to know how magnets work. Tattoo, he drives so fast. Tattoo, he drives so fast. Tattoo is badass. Tattoo, he races cars. Tattoo, he turns left.
These pictures were taken on April 18th. This was just the day that we had gotten the 10 cubic foot dump trailer for the riding mower. I put this together so we can haul material around the property. This will also be used to haul clay that we dig up from the pond area, and we'll haul that over to the track. April 21st was a day of digging trenches. There was a 20-foot long trench that I dug on each side of the track. April 23rd was the day that we were both out there. My wife and I, we were out in the field. We installed both of the culvert pipes. Each one was 20 feet long. Both pipes, we set them up so they slope downward correctly to move water from north to south, because that's the direction the entire pasture slopes. and there's a swale that runs naturally down the center of the pasture. So we put the culverts inside that swale, in the lowest point of that swale. That's where we dug the trenches. April 24th was the day of getting a shipment that I was highly anticipating. A implement that is called a hand dozer, D3.5 MG. I put it together the day that we got it, and since then it has been such an awesome tool. It has been so much fun to use. Okay, I went out to the track and I took pictures on April 26th. The previous night we had a severe thunderstorm, or well, we had multiple severe thunderstorms that came through. But we had one severe thunderstorm that like started directly on top of us. It popped up and it grew into a large supercell. We ended up getting a flash flood warning in our location from it. I went out on the 27th of April. I dug the trench in the infield just slightly deeper, and I also sloped the sides. This system still resulted in the only standing water sitting in that small outflow basin at the end of the southern culvert. On the 30th of April, I spent a portion of the day building a trommel style sifter. I bolted some caster wheels to some scrap wood. I measured so that the caster wheels will ride along the rim of the 5-gallon buckets. I cut the bottom half of the top of the 5-gallon buckets off. I zip tied hardware cloth. You can see in the pictures here that the 5-gallon buckets ride along those casters, and it just rides on top of the dump trailer, and I can just spin the whole thing, and we just shovel material into the sifter, and all we have to do is just spin it. This was a nice little DIY project. This is when we really started defining the track itself. You can see that the area where the drainage system has been like cleaned up, packed in. Um, I mowed the area where the track surface is going to be. I mowed that down um, as short as possible, and these are the pictures. These are the first pictures that you can see of me actually using the hand dozer grader to start ripping up grass around the track surface. And I've got pictures of the amount of grass that we're actually ripping up. And man, this thing does great. This thing has done a great job. And after just one day of work, it really defined the track surface. But it's definitely a long process. It takes time. May 6th, I mowed the entire property. The front yard, the pasture, everything. So I got started with work on the track kind of way later than normal. But after mowing the entire property, I got some work done on the track. Alright, May 7th. We definitely moved more dirt on May 7th. I moved 10 of those dump trailer loads of dirt, um, well, clay from the pond area to the track. Used that hand dozer grader to try to level it out a little bit and break it up. Um, Adjusted the spikes on it to a few different levels. Lowered the spikes deeper into the soil to kind of break it up. Raised it up to let the rake on the back do some more raking as well. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to do a video of that, but there will be more videos coming up later in this video of me, like time lapse videos of me doing more work to the track. May 9th. The previous night we got half an inch of rain, so the ground was soft enough for me to get out there and work as much as I could throughout the day to try to rip up as much grass as I could.
So, starting off the day, I just got out here. We had a bunch of rain yesterday. I was supposed to do a bunch of work on the track yesterday, but couldn't because every single time I was going to come out here, we ended up getting storms. And then as soon as the storms passed and as soon as the standing water dried up, fucking lightning would be in the area again. But right here, it's fucking soggy. And then there's spots that are dry. Let's see. Dry, and then there's sogginess right here. Yeah, I felt it. I heard it. I felt it and I heard it squish. Goddamn fucking horsefly just bit me. Okay, so I need to get rid of some of this grass. So while it's soft, I'm gonna rip some of this up. It's a bit muddy and soupy right here. So the drainage area that we dug, there's no standing water and we had a flash flood warning last night. So that's fucking good. But that was the low end. That's the lowest end. That's the spot where we just have water outflowing the whole system. But because the northern end is where the water comes in. And then the swale just kind of naturally goes down the backyard from there. It's kind of hard to see here, but there's a little bit of a natural low point right here in the center of the pasture. Wet spot here, Dry there. This is letting me see the high points too. Dry there. Wet there. Dry there. Dry there. Obviously, we're back going uphill again. Because that whole area slopes downhill and then back uphill. So yeah, it's wet right here. Okay. Then there's a bunch of grass growing right here. So we're still working on ripping up a lot of the grass.
The 12th of May was another day of working the track and using the hand dozer grader to just continue stripping grass. Um, I also analyzed that area where there was some trash. There was like some old compost and a poly tarp that was stuck in the ground underneath where that brush pile had been. So I kind of analyzed, all of that, formed a game plan on what we're going to do there. May 13th. This is the day that we went through that pile. We sifted through the the area where that poly tarp was. We took all of that compost, ran it through that trommel style sifter. May 16th. We got a small bit of rain the previous night. I went out there, I was trying to do some work on the track. I just used that hand dozer. May 20th, we didn't get any rain or anything else like that, so yeah, the track was dry, so I just did a little bit of what I could to rip up some grass. Alright, we got some light rain the morning of the 21st of May. So I got out there and I worked and worked and worked as long as I could to work that moisture that we got that morning as much as I possibly could. I worked that track and just worked every bit of moisture that I possibly could in that surface to strip that grass that was still growing. And I feel like I made a lot of progress on the 21st of May there. Um, and I worked that track most of the day. I had to stop at one point because thunderstorms moved into the area, and I planned on getting out the next day, and if I remember correctly, I did get out the next day, and we'll talk about that in just a second.
So what I was doing there is I was going down the straightaways, and I was using the grader to to pull the material down the straightaways and towards the outside of the corners. I'll just dig material from the pond area and fill in the straightaways. Because I know a lot of the material that I'm pulling up right now has a lot of organic material in it, and I want to pack that in on the outside of the corners right now, because I mean there's so much moist dirt that's stuck in there that a lot of the grass is getting ripped up in such small pieces right now that it's gonna waste so much time trying to sift through it all that just pulling that shit to the very outer edge to form a berm and pack it in tight will be easier. So I'm just pulling all that material to the edge right now, and I'm going to pack it in. We're supposed to get more rain. Also, those roots growing into the outer edge of the berm will help the berm hold. Kind of like how I've done with the you guys probably have seen in well, not on stream, but on YouTube. I've shown it, but on the drainage on the ends where the culvert pipe is, around the culvert pipe, I packed some sod in so that the roots can grow around to help hold the culvert pipe in place. I packed some sod in there so that way the drainage pipes are packed in. I backfilled and packed it in really, really well so the drainage pipes are held in place, but then the bank around the drainage pipes, to make it so that drainage isn't a problem and standing water isn't a problem, I packed the sod back in so that way we don't have an issue with erosion. I don't want there to be an issue with erosion on the very outer edge, so I'm thinking that what I'll do is I'm just going to pull all the grass material to the very outer edge of the racing surface that I'm ripping up now. That way we'll form the initial berm on the very, very outer edge of the racetrack, and that grass, since this is all Bermuda, well, there's a lot of weeds in here, but there's also a lot of Bermuda grass, so that Bermuda grass can start to root in the very, very outer edge. Sometimes, no matter how much work you do with the riding mower, nothing replaces manual labor. It's fucking not very hot out here. It's only like 75 degrees, but God, is it fucking humid. It's like, it rained earlier today. It was misting for a while. I'm just fucking covered in fucking sweat. The air just feels heavy. I just feel like I'm fucking soaked. Yeah. It fucking sucks, but I'm having fun, oddly enough. I fucking love doing this. This is a lot of fun. Thank you to anybody that's watching. Fucking love you guys. Thank you guys for watching this. You guys are fucking awesome. I know usually I just do racing sim stuff on here. I see a little bit of, I see a couple of small little drops on the fucking camera stand here on the tripod. So it looks like we are getting a little bit of mist here right now. Probably another reason why everything feels so heavy, why the air feels so heavy. Looks like we're getting a little bit of mist. But yeah. Whew. Man. Alright, back to work. Okay, hold on. Rain's actually getting fucking heavier now. Hold on, let me move the camera. Let me move the camera somewhere where it's not gonna get fucking rained on. I don't mind if I get rained on. Let me move camera somewhere where it's not gonna get fucking rained on. Here. Hopefully you guys can still see. You guys should still be able to see. Just you guys won't be able to see as much. Sorry that you guys won't be able to see as much, but it's starting to rain. So I don't want you guys like out there in the fucking rain.
May 22nd. This was the big day. We got more rain on the 21st, and then especially that evening of the 21st. So when I went out there the day of the 22nd, I worked the track all day on my live stream on my Twitch channel. And when I mean all day, I mean all day. I worked and worked and worked the track. And you can tell by the pictures and stuff like that and the video. The track definitely looks like it's really coming together. I stripped a lot of the grass off the surface. You can still see that there's a good amount of grass, but
So I was watching last night when we got rain, and what I'm doing right now is there's a low spot right there where water was collecting and water pooled, and that's where it took the longest time to soak in, and that's where water sat on track the longest last night, is right there in that corner. So that right now, even though the straightaways are the lowest points, that corner right there is where water sat the longest. So that's why I'm pulling dirt there, even though the straightaways are the lowest points. I'm pulling the dirt to that corner right now because water sat there the longest out of everywhere else on the track, where I was just packing the dirt in with that tamper. So yeah, if you guys are wondering why I was packing that in right there, is because that spot right there, that's why I'm pulling dirt to the outside there, and building up a little bit of a berm there, and just slowly building up dirt in that whole area. I really should get some more dirt from the pond area, but I also have to rip up grass around the track, so I should just keep on doing laps and pulling dirt to that spot and ripping up all the grass in the process. But yeah. I gotta get a spray trailer at some point here soon. As soon as I save up for one, and I gotta get a fucking a roller to actually pack this in, because I don't have a roller yet. That's why I'm tamping a little bit with that tamper. I'm not going to tamp the whole fucking track, obviously, with it. I'm just tamping the berm a little bit on the outside. I'm pulling the grass to the very outside edge, and then I'm going to fill everything else in with dirt. Like, the grass is just going to be on the very outside edge here of the berm, where I want it to kind of root on the very outside edge to stop erosion. And then right on the inside of that, I'm going to do all dirt. I'm just marking the very outside edge with the grass. I'm kind of pushing that up on the very outside edge and forming kind of like an initial berm with it. I'm kind of pushing it up, taking everything that's got grass in it and kind of pushing it up and then tamping it in. But yeah, right here is the low spot. Like, all through here where I've been pulling all the dirt to is the low spot, where all the moisture settled. This was the spot that took the longest to dry out. This is where the standing water, when we got the heavy rain last night from the thunderstorm, this was the spot that took the longest to completely dry. Well, for whatever, when we got like the heavy rain, any little bit of water that was on the track, the last little puddle that took to dry up was right there. So that's why I'm pulling most of the dirt right there. But yeah, that little grader that I got from Home Depot works fucking pretty good. For a little thing that you pull behind a riding mower, works really good. But yeah, the little I gotta I got to make sure that I mow around that, but the little 4-inch culvert pipe that we put in is working great. And then we made sure that we dug out a basin and a ditch for the water to go across. Actually, let me check, because we had a severe thunderstorm warning last night. Let me check to see if there's any standing water on this side, because there's a little bit of standing water down in the pond area that we're digging down at the down further down the property. Nope, no standing water in the catch basin at the end of the drainage for the track. This was the other spot where there was a little bit of water, right here, and then the next low point was right there. So those are the 3 lowest spots on the track. But yeah, pretty good so far. It's just taking time. But all right, it's lunchtime.
In some spots you can see that I really stripped a lot of the grass out of there. But yeah, I spent a lot of time out there, and it was just it was a lot of laps, but it was just pulling that grader around the track for very, very, very many laps. It was just all day of working out there in the hot sun. There was some clouds throughout the day, but it was just a lot of work in the sun. But it's been fun being out there in the out there in Mother Nature. The birds have been making a lot of noise. It's been beautiful outside. But but yeah, I'm really happy with where the track is at and how it's coming along. We really need to move dirt from the pond area, well, clay. Um, we need to eventually start building up some banking, and we also need to, but we need to fill in some low spots. But I've really been trying to kind of rip up the grass first, just because I don't want to have too much organic matter on the actual track surface itself. But it's just been a slow process.
Did this fall down right in front of you guys? This stick? This wasn't here earlier. Jesus, it almost hit the fucking phone. Holy fuck. Alright, I'm glad I didn't hit the fucking phone. I had adjusted the spikes on the front of the grader deeper into the soil, so that the spikes were digging deeper into the soil. The back of the grader wasn't leveling the soil out quite as much. The spikes on the front of the grader were just digging deeper in to break up the soil and break up the roots in the grass, to help me just break up a lot of the grass. Now I just backed off the nuts that were holding the turnbuckle in place where it was, and then I adjusted the turnbuckle so that the spikes won't be as deep. That way the entire grader will be a little bit more level. That way the back of the grader, where the actual leveling plane is, I have it set so the rake side of it is down, instead of the flat side. But now that'll be making better contact with the dirt. So now I'll be able to rake the material off the track better. So now I'm going to go back to what I was doing earlier, where the spikes will still be making contact in the soil. The spikes will still be... Oh, little bird up in the tree. He decided that he wanted to talk on the stream, but little bird, are you making noise? Do you got to talk on the stream too? I'm not sure if you guys can hear him. You guys can probably hear him. Are you trying to tell them what I'm doing? Yeah? Yeah, now that I'm not running the mower, you gotta sing your little song on stream? Alright, so now that I'm not running the mower, he's gotta sing his little song on stream. Hold on, let me see if I can get him on the stream. Can you guys see him on that tree branch right there? You guys see him on that tree branch? That one tree branch that doesn't have any leaves on it, that dead tree branch. Oh, there he is. He flew down off the tree branch. Just 1 second, guys. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. Thank you guys so much for watching. This shit's a lot of fun. I'm sorry you guys aren't able to see the whole track from this angle, but I'm trying to keep the camera and the battery pack out of the direct sunlight so it doesn't overheat. I'll be right back in just a second.
May 25th was another day of having to mow the entire property. So I went out there, I mowed, and then I started getting some work done on the track. Um, I used the spike aerator to loosen the soil. I also used the grader. During that day when I was working the track, it was pretty dusty because the track was pretty dry. I was really hoping that we were going to get rain, but we did not get rain the night before. I was trying not to work the track too much, but I wanted to get at least something done to kind of strip some grass out of it. After stripping some grass off of it, I wanted to make sure that I put some laps on it to kind of compact it back down. But we are definitely the next things on our shopping list is a water trailer and a roller because we need to be able to not rely solely on rain, and we also need to have a roller to be able to pack it in other than just relying on driving lap after lap after lap and using solely the tires on the riding mower. But yeah, uh, we're we're working on it at our own pace, and it's slowly coming together. But we're getting there. We got the rain overnight that I was hoping we were gonna get. This was May 27th. I went outside and I was extremely happy to see the track had some moisture in it. I spent several hours outside during the day working the track while it had the moisture in it, and I worked it until it got dry enough to where I was kicking up dust. I'm moving some of the grass that I'm ripping up to the very outside. I'm trying to take some of the grass that I'm ripping up and put it on the very, very outside before I build up banking because I want the embankment of the outside of the track because I don't want erosion to erode away the outside of the banking, essentially. I don't want rain to like wash away the outside of the track. May 28th, um, this morning that these pictures and stuff were taken, we had gotten a little rain as well, so I was able to go out and work the track while it was damp and just keep on working it until it dried. We did have a flood advisory with the rains that came through, and once again, no standing water on track, even at this point with all the grass that we've stripped out.
We can just do a track walk real quick. There's definitely some spots where there's more grass than other spots. This right here is where the where I talked about earlier in the video, where I talked about where the compost used to be, where there was trash. All right here, the brush pile used to come right up to this berm. And all right there, stuck underneath the brush pile, was like compost and a poly tarp and trash. There was like plastic trash and all sorts of other shit. We moved the brush pile back there with the compost bins. There's a helicopter flying over. But yeah, and we put some hay and shit like that right here. You can see the grass is growing. We're being careful. We're trying not to walk on it or nothing. There's a helicopter up there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. It just flew over. But yeah, the grass that's in this berm. I'm pushing the grass to the outer edge, like right here. We're going to be building up. There's some grass growing now, but right here on this side of the berm, we're going to be building nothing but like the banking for the oval. But on the outer edge over here, this is where we're going to be building like an embankment of grass to stop erosion. So basically, that's why I kind of moved all the grass clippings from the track over here on the outside, because I want the grass clippings from the track to be on the outs that we pull from the track. When we rake it, I want all the grass clippings to come out here on this side, because I want that stuff to eventually take root. Because when we build up the banking, I want kind of like you see on NASCAR tracks, like and other tracks like dirt tracks and stuff like that, like any typical short track that you might see. You have the track itself, but then outside the track, outside the wall, we're not gonna have walls on this, but outside the wall, you see the outer side of the track all the way up to the wall. Like that entire embankment is grass. We want grass outside the track all the way up the embankment, because we're gonna add banking to this, so this isn't gonna be flat like this. This is gonna be banked, but we want the outside of the embankment to be grass. That way, it prevents erosion. But just walking the track. Over here on the inside line, there's not much grass at all. There's some spots where you can see the clay was kind of hard, started to crack and break up. There's grass that needs to come up over here still. This is the wide radius corner. There's a fire ant nest right here that started to get ripped open when I was using the grader. They're not very happy. This is the southern straightaway. Here's where the culvert is going underneath the southern straightaway. Kind of hard to see because the grass is growing around it, but it's held in there really good now. Like it ended up packing in there really well, and now it's in there pretty fucking good. This is the basin at the south end. There's where the culvert comes out. We have not had a single problem with this. This basin will start to fill up a little bit, but then the way I kind of sloped this exit, if it fills up too much, it'll kind of spill out here into this little bit of a shallow swale here, and then it kind of just dissipates. There's another swale right there that runs out that way, and over to that tree. That tree will suck up a lot of moisture, but yeah, and then a lot of the water just soaks right in right there. You can see the clay cracking down there at the bottom. Let's see, continuing to walk the track, there's some low spots in the straightaway here. This is the narrow radius corner right here we're coming up on. Whenever we get a kart and we actually get to a point where we're able to start racing laps around here, I'm going to put some tires right around here near this post, because this is the birdhouse. But you can see the berm that we're slowly starting to build up on the outside of the corner. The grass is starting to go away right here. The berm is getting bigger and bigger. And then this straightaway has more grass than I would like to see, for sure. And man, I was just out here like 2 days ago ripping it up, and it looked like the grass was pretty much almost gone, and now it's sprouting all over again. anew. And it's like, man, just trying to stay on top of this shit is so fucking difficult. That's why I spread a little bit of salt today, because man, it's so fucking hard. This shit grows even when you don't want it to. You put a little bit of salt down, it still fucking grows. Like, this is the northern, this is the outlet basin for the northern straightaway culvert. This is the drainage ditch that runs across the infield. There's the brush pile. Here's where the straightaway's coming up in chunks. Yeah, it's pretty fucking dry. This straightaway already has some banking to it, a little bit. And then here, this is kind of hard to see. This is the right there is where the water goes in to the culvert on the northern straightaway. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah. Kind of see how the berm is building up. Yeah, we're getting there. It's turning into something, but we're just eventually we got to go down to the pond and start hauling more clay up here. The pond is let me see if I can show you guys, because there's a dam. That's where you guys can mainly see the pond. There's a dam built up down there at the southern end of the pond, because all the water flows from north to south through the swale that runs down the center of the property. There's the dam down there where all that vegetation is, down there past that big this big cedar tree in the center of the property. That big dam down there, that's where the pond is. But that birdhouse, I gotta put tires right there. But yeah, this is what the track is looking like so far. But yeah, but thanks for watching, and we're gonna keep on working on it. Hopefully this rain comes in from the storm. Clouds are yeah, it's looking like we're gonna get a storm. But yeah, hopefully the rain soaks all this in, and yeah, I'll have to come out here and spray some vinegar and soap and try to kill off all this grass.
As of today, the 31st of May, I don't plan on doing any work on the track today. It's supposed to be over 100 degrees today, and yesterday I went out and I did something similar to what they do on dirt and gravel roads, where they'll either spread salt or brine solutions to cut down on dust. It also does sterilize the surface and stop anything from growing on the roadways. In this situation, it's on the dirt track, and I raked that in better. But as of today, the last day of the month, I'm just finishing up this video now, and I'm attaching a couple of pictures to this as our final pictures of the track for the end of the month, the end of this video, and that'll be a wrap on this video for now. This is what the track is looking like as of the end of the month, and we're getting ready to start our work going into the next month. As I've said before, Um, the uh, the next plans on this project will be to get a water trailer and a drum roller so we can wet the track on our own schedule instead of solely waiting on rain to wet the track, and also being able to pack the track in better with a drum roller. As far as the equipment that we have to haul a water trailer and our max towing capacity with either of our riding mowers, we're only going to be able to tow a maximum of about a 60-gallon water trailer. So that's what we're looking at on that. I'm thinking probably a 60-gallon water trailer and replace the nozzles with a flood jet nozzle. That might be the best option on that one. For anybody out there, if you've got better recommendations, let me know. And then, other than that, just a normal, typical drum roller, and that we're looking at getting. And then, so those are our two next plans on our shopping list. And then, other than that, we're just going to continue working on leveling the surface that we have now, stripping that last little bit of grass that we have, and also we do have to plan when we're going to get back to digging the pond area and when we're going to begin moving clay from that pond area up to the track and filling in the low points on the straightaways and beginning to build up banking in the corners. That's what we're looking at for June. But right now we're leaving it at a rest day. Let what we've done kind of settle since we didn't get any rain last night. The storms missed us, and so we're just gonna kind of let the track sit, especially with the heat that we're gonna have today. With how little grass there is on that surface, we're just gonna kind of let that fry in the sun today, and yeah, just hope that letting that rest, because we don't want to kick up too much dust, especially since we didn't get any rain at all. We don't want to disturb that too much and break up that clay and smash it into dust and cause a bigger problem than what we already have with not getting any rain and not having a way to wet the track. But thank you all so much for watching. This is an extremely fun project. I love doing this, and as I've said before, you know, I know that that epilepsy diagnosis ended up leading to the revocation of my driver's license. That was a very hurtful feeling emotionally. I had my driver's license for more than half of my life at my age, and I definitely feel like I lost a part of myself all of a sudden with my driver's license being revoked at this age. So it's now been a couple of years because that happened in well, the diagnosis happened in 2023, and then in 2024 is when I lost my license because it took them a year to do all of the, to do all the paperwork, and for the state of Texas to actually finally go through and do everything. Mark my words, I'm gonna find a way to drive or race something around a little track. My diagnosis does not get to win in this situation. My diagnosis does not get to determine what I can and can't do. I've always loved racing. Grew up around racing, and my diagnosis doesn't get to take this away from me. That's one thing that I'm not gonna allow to happen. I'm still gonna continue doing the racing simulator stuff. I run races in iRacing throughout the week, as usual. And I live stream that stuff on Twitch. As I do work out in the back pasture on the racetrack, I live stream that on Twitch as well. But thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all so much for watching this video. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you guys so much for your support. And if any of you guys are ever going through stuff, don't ever let what you're going through control you. Don't ever let what you're going through win. No matter what you're going through, do not let it control your life, and do not let it win in any situation. If there's something that you love, and if there's something that you want to do, but there's also something that you're going through, do not let the thing that you're going through change what you want to do with your life. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to Fate and Chaos, the metal band. Thank you to Roadcock Racing Setup Shop over in the racing simulator community. Thank you to all my teammates in the racing simulator community. Thank you to all of our fans. Thank you to everybody that makes all this possible. And I love all of you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.
Tattoo, he's cool as fuck. Tattoo, he's the juggalo. Tattoo,